Hello and welcome to our game Polar Pick. I'm Benjamin Pedley.
I'm James Walt.
And I'm Josh Fisher.
So to start off, you start in this main menu screen where we have an options button where you can control the resolution, the audio of the game, and with full screen or not-ness of the game. So to start, I'll press play. You get welcomed with this introductory slide that shows you why you're in this Antarctic research base and that you're in debt, so you need to mine ores and pay this debt back to the spirits that you're trespassing on. You also see the controls and how to play. You need to go to the caves, search for ores, defeat enemies, return to the surface to sell them, use the money to buy upgrades, and then sleep and repeat. And as it states there, when you sleep, money earned goes to pay off the debt before. So to start with, you start on this main menu and we'll just head to the mines. Whilst we're heading to mines, I hope you can hear the audio, which is background audio, repeated tracks. So we have a multi-instrument in Fmod that repeats and loops like 3 or 4 background tracks for each level, and it just creates the vibe of the scene. You can also hear the footstep sounds. They're also multi-instrument that changes randomly, like real footsteps. You won't have the same like sounding footstep each time. So with this multi-instrument, we're able to like change each footstep to make them sound more unique and keep the player more immersed inside the game. So over to someone else.
So in the caves, you can find a number of different ores. So there's 5 different rarities of ores. There's gold, copper, iron, diamond, and emerald. And there's a number of different enemies that can be found on different levels. So on the first level, you'll only find 2 types of ores, which will be ore and copper, and 1 type of enemy, which is called a skelly ghost. So the goal is to come down here and defeat enemies to collect ores, which can then be sold up the top. I predominantly did the level design for down here. So the level design was used using tile maps. So there's 2 different grids on this map. One will be for the floors and then one for the walls. The one for the walls have tile map colliders on them, which allows or stops players from going off the sides and falling off the map or anything like that.
We have implemented an interactive inventory system into the game as well. If you left click, you're able to equip items, and if you right click, you're able to drop them. We've used this specifically for equipping and to sell items, where you can right click within a designated space, and the money for that item will then be put into your bank, which you can sleep to take it off of your debt. Or before that, you can buy items and fish or mine with upgraded tools, or take out enemies with a sword instead. The shop has a similar UI layout to the rest of the game. It was all made in piscolapp.com. We use that to follow the pixel art style of the game. In our game, you can move just with the usual keys with W, A, S, and D, or the arrow keys. You're able to move up, down, left, and right. And the tool that you're using swings in the direction that you're facing, as we thought that was the most efficient way to make the game.
For fishing, we implemented a simple fishing mechanic. Click the button, it instantiates your fishing rod, and then you have a, I think, 30% chance on if you'll catch a fish or not. So, yeah, you just kind of catch your fish to make sure you can eat them and then level up your health so you don't die whilst you're in the caves. This allows for the player to feel more immersed because they have more to do, and gives them a little bit of fun. You can also buy the fish from the shop if you can't be bothered to go fishing, because it does take quite a while sometimes. So yeah, as you can see, when I eat the fish, my health goes up.
So this is the second level. When you get down to the second level, you'll start to realize that it's a bit bigger than the last one. This is intentional because we wanted to make the maps a wee bit bigger as you go down, so the players have more to explore. On this level, you have another rarity of material you can find, which is gold, and another enemy type, which is the water slimes. So each map kind of has a different environment that we went with. So the first one would be quite plain, quite rocky. The second one would be more water-based and more water enemies. and the last one will be shown in a few minutes. So this is the last level. This is probably the hardest level that we have in the game. Obviously, it's a lava environment, so we have lava enemies to go with that as well. And every enemy can be found on this level, so it does get a bit more difficult. And more enemies means more damage, and the Yetis do a lot more damage as well. You can find all the ores in this level, so you'll have a wide variety of different things to get, which will include emerald and diamond, which aren't really found on many other levels except this one. And I really like the 2D lighting as well, which I think makes a real nice impact in the game, especially for this level. And this is our boss enemy, which is the Yeti, who does quite a lot of damage. And when the player dies, they'll be transported back to their house, but their debt will be increased by 50. But you get to keep all your items, and you still have the money that you made from that day.
Okay, as you can see right now in the game, we've already been down to this mine, so all the ores have already broken, and there's enemies still, but no ores to be found. So to combat this, we need to go back up to the surface and sleep. As you can see, when we sleep, our debt decreases by the amount of coins we had, and our health also goes full way up. And by the time we get back to the mines, we should see all the ores reappear to be mined again for another day. Awesome.
As you can see, we have two different kinds of pickaxe here. We have the upgraded version, which is the blue one, and the base level version, which is the iron looking one. We're going to compare two different kinds of ore with these pickaxes and show you the difference between how fast it takes to mine it. So that one is mined instantly with the upgraded pickaxe, whereas this one takes two separate hits because they do different damage amounts. The pickaxes can also be used to attack enemies, but they are way less effective than the swords are, and it will take much longer to kill the enemies. We also have an upgraded version of the sword, which is in the inventory right now, and we have a base level version, which is just less effective.
So one of the most difficult things that I found with this game was making sure that the scene changes all correlated and that the player's position was stored. So what we've done is that when you enter a scene, or when you load the next scene, your player's last position in that scene is saved. So if we go back to level 2, you can see that we're still at the entrance that was for level 3. This correlates across all scenes. So the player has the option to either cycle between scenes so they can follow back in their footsteps, but we thought there wasn't going to be any ores there anyway. So we added a way to go straight from the last level straight to the surface. And in doing this also clears your positions in the mine, because if we moved straight from the last level back to the start, your last position, let's say in this scene, would be at the entrance to go to level 2, which is not the way we wanted it. So we need something to be able to clear the scenes after both dying and returning straight to the surface, because that was causing a lot of issue.
We also implemented a pause menu, so if the game's time stops, and then you can explore your options, exit the game, or resume back to play.
Once you have enough coins and you've slept, it takes you to this win scene that just gives you a brief thank you for playing and a congratulations, and also has our names in the credit. You're able to exit from this menu, or you can resume, and if you resume, it brings you back into the game, but without a debt counter. So now you're able to just farm for all the money that you want, upgrade your tools to whatever you want, fish to your heart's content, or you can leave whenever you want. And yeah, that's our game. Polar Pick.
Thank you very much for watching.